Now, before we dive in and start talking about this Chaos Awakes extreme, long-term, in-depth event, I wanted to dive into the game and talk about the generosity of Raid Shadow Legends. But before I get into that, if you've never played Raid, here's a QR code for you. Download the game with my QR code, get 2 free Epic Champions, get yourself a bunch of rewards on day 1. There's also a link in the description for you. But look at this right here. We log in this morning and we have the anniversary. Where is it? There's an anniversary something somewhere. 16. Here it is. Check this bad boy out. We got claim the free gifts. Sacred Shard, Primal Shard, rank 5 chicken. You got yourself auto battles times 200, a bunch of brews, energy, and silver. Claim the free gift, and this is going to be on a multi-day claim. So here's, look at this, another free Sacred Shard for me. And then I'll be able to grab all the rest of these as time goes on. This is absolutely insane generosity in my opinion. Now, of course, the generous is not the name of Raid's game here, but in this case, this was actually very nice. Now, that brings us to, we got to collect it right here in our silver, 17 Sacred Shards. We're going to have another Primal in that bad boy as well. 17. Let's see if we can get just a little bit more lucky here if we go into our clan bosses and claim some of the rewards here as well. We did 4 runs of this yesterday, and I'm leaving the QR code here for you guys. So when you realize that the generosity inside, did you just see we just got a void shard out of that? That was out of a hard chest, a void shard. Super huge pickup right there. When you realize that you're like, dang, I got to get in on this. The QR code is here, okay? Nothing out of that one. Now, we have gotten so many Sacred Shards and so many Legendary Skill Tomes out of these chests that it's been unfathomable. Ancient out of that one. Nothing there. Let's see if we get any luck out of the Transcendent. Yesterday, we got a Legendary Skill Tome, Ancient Shard today, and another Ancient Shard. So nothing crazy here today, which is actually okay, because I really want to talk to you about this new event that will, that's going to be coming, and that has so many new champions and new things that are coming from all the events. That's really going to be what we're focusing on here today inside of this video. We may come back and do a little bit inside of the game. We'll have to see. We'll see what goes on. By the way, the next clan versus clan event will feature personal rewards. You heard it here first. Personal rewards will be featured in the next clan versus clan event. Let's go, kids. Let's get into this. The event lineup, June 5th, which is only a week from today, less than that, through August 6th. We're talking about 2 months. Phase 1 starts on June 5th, 2025. It's the Coalition event. Event dungeon with Karusha, the Covetous remains open throughout the Chaos Awakes, which is, I believe the one down below, and Tholen Foulbeard Fusion event. Now, we talked about Tholen in a previous video. He actually looks like he's going to be a pretty good nuker, also pretty good in Hydra as well. Make sure you go check that out. And if we're talking about the dungeon, I think it's going to be this one right here. Is it going to be this one? It very well may be. We'll have to see. Then phase 2 of this Champion Chase event with Lemoncy the Gold Wing. All right, so let's dive a little bit more into all of this to determine what it actually all means. So, the event overview. It's called Chaos Awakes. Summary is, Raid Shadow Legends presents an upcoming Chaos Awakes campaign that will feature a brand new Coalition event with 5 unique legendary champions. The return of the time-limited event dungeon, this time occupied by mighty mythical champion as the event dungeon boss, and 8 new limited relics. I do have the relics for you guys in this video as well. It's divided into 2 phases, this event. Phase 1 is the June 25th Coalition event, Classic Fusion, start of the event dungeon, and Bastion redesign and OTS update. And then phase 2, which starts in July, is the free legendary champion and the champion chase. Let's go. Love it. The duration is June 5th through August 6th, so 2 months, and we don't need to worry about the hashtags now, do we? The Coalition event timeline a little bit more in depth. June 5th, all players starting from level 2 can participate in the event by completing dedicated quests and earning coalition points. The reward period, July 2nd. During the period, players can no longer complete quests to earn points, but they can still open the event tab and claim the earned rewards. And on July 3rd, it's over with. Claim everything before that. Make sure you get it done. Now, what are the champions we're talking about? Let's actually bring me out of the picture and let's zoom this in so we can take a better look at all these guys, because they're more important than my mug now, aren't they? Chaos Awakes champions. We have Lemish the Goldwing. You can get this from the loyalty program, drop from Ancient, Sacred, and Primal Shards on July 31st, or through July 31st. We have Tholin Foulbeard, which is the Fusion champion, which we featured in a previous video. Classic Fusion, drop from the Ancient, Sacred, and Primal Shards June 5th. We have Graos the Turn Drake, drop from Ancient Shards, Sacreds, and Primal Shards June 5th. Kurosa the Covetous Shard Boosts, dropping from Primal Shards August 6th. And Balar the Lost, drop from Ancient, Sacred, and Primal Shards June 5th. Now, I have more details on all these ones, or on some of these ones for you. Now, again, we did look through the kit of the Foulbeard. Again, looks like a really good nuker that is going to have some big damage against bosses, minions, and certain factions. But let's take a look at Graos Turn Drake. To start, let's look at this kit and see what it actually looks like. Okay, then we're going to move on over to the next. So, Graos attacks one enemy and will ignore 25% of the target's defense. Heals all allies with less than 50% HP by 10% of this champion's max HP. And the only buffs that we're getting from books there are going to be on damage, increasing up to 10% more damage. Then Cutler of the Weak, the A2, attacks all enemies 2 times. Each hit will ignore 25% of the targets with less than 50% HP. So if they have less than 50% HP, 25% of that defense will be ignored. The first hit has a 75% chance of placing a 60% decreased defense debuff on each enemy for 2 turns. The second hit has a 75% chance of placing a block buffs debuff on each enemy for 2 turns. Each hit will ignore 25% resistance against targets with less than 50% HP on its bookable down to a 3-turn cooldown, and the buff chance can go from 25% up to a 55% on the ignored defense. And the first hit has a 75% chance of placing a 60% decrease. So I believe all those can actually be buffed with that chance. Now, the A3 places a 60% increased defense buff on all allies for 2 turns. Also places a block damage buff on all allies for 1 turn. And we can get that cooldown all the way down to a 3-turn cooldown as well, which is really, really nice. Now, I actually just got some more news in just this second, which I'm going to share with you as we get on here. But Bastion is going to be getting a whole new look for this event as well. All right, now we have the passive. If any ally has more than 50% HP and is under any buffs placed by this champion, the ally deals 10% more damage. If an ally has less than 50% HP and is attacked by an enemy under any debuffs placed by this champion, that ally receives 10% less damage. If there are multiple champions on the team with this skill, only one will activate. And this is, again, an HP-based spirit champion, and the increases HP of all allies by 28%. Graos Turn Drake, do you want him on your team? Let me know down in the comments. As we go into Balar the Lost. All right, Balar the Lost attacks one enemy. This is the A1. Before attacking, places a shield buff on champions for 2 turns. The value of the shield is proportional to the champion's attack. Also, has a 50% chance of placing a 25% poison sensitivity debuff for 2 turns. This debuff chance can be buffed by an additional 25% with 3 books. We have the A2, attacks one enemy, has a 75% chance of placing a leech debuff on all enemies for 2 turns. Instantly activates all poison debuffs on all enemies. It's on a 4-2 turn cooldown that can be booked down to a 3 turn cooldown, plus we can get an additional 25% chance, making it a 100% chance of placing leech on all enemies for 2 turns out of that A2. Then we have Monstrous Growth. The A3 attacks one enemy. Before attacking, places a 50% increased accuracy buff on all allies for 2 turns. By the way, Balar is an attack-based champion. Has a 75% chance of placing 50% of the decreased resistance debuff on all enemies for 2 turns, and places 5% poison debuffs on initial target for 2 turns. If the attack is critical, places a 5% poison debuff for 2 turns on all enemies instead of 4. Not instead of 4. This is on a 3 turn cooldown after you throw in 5 books, and again, you can advance that chance of placing the buff by an additional 25% with those books. Then the passive increases the champion's ignored defense effect by 1% for each poison debuff instantly activated by the champion. It stacks up to a 20%. Fills the champion's turn meter by 5% whenever a poison debuff is placed on an enemy, and this here increases accuracy in all battles by 60. Balar seems pretty incredible to me. If you ask me, I'd love to know your thoughts as well. But as I remove them, I'm going to bring in the new look of Bastion. This is what it's going to look like for the event, and man, that looks pretty sick. It looks like it's a little bit being overridden by hell. I love it. Special theme Bastion design will be active during the event with the update OST. Let's actually zoom in a little bit here for you so you guys can get a better look at what this actually is going to look like. I think it looks pretty darn cool if you ask me. I like it a lot. All right, let's keep on going on with what else. You guys wanted to see the relics. Whew. Now we've got 8 more relics for you. These are going to be consistently coming just like gear. Sinner's Cloak is going to increase defense. Wearer receives a 1% defense for each 15 HP missing. Stacks up to 75% missing HP. This is a rare relic. We have the Tempest Morbidia, which is also a rare relic. This is going to be turn meter reduction and lifesteal, I believe, by 3%. Decrease and steal turn meter. Oh, decrease and steal their turn meter. I'm sorry, not they're stealing turn meter there. Decrease and steal turn meter effects are 15% less effective against the person wearing this relic. Those are both rare. Now let's take a look at some epics. We have the Gaze of Damnation. Wearer deals 2% more damage per skill activated, stacking up to 10%, and receives 1% less damage per skill not activated, stacking up to 5%. By enemies under fear and true fear debuffs. And you can see all the way to level 6, max damage modifier +2/+1. Then we have the Grail of Agony, which I wasn't even telling you the stat buffs. You could see the stat buffs on the screen. This one's pretty big with the HP buff there. When enemies steal or decrease the wearer's turn meter, the wearer instead loses 2% max HP for every 1% turn meter that would have been lost or stolen. So it's actually not going to allow your turn meter to be stolen, but instead a little bit of your HP. And this can kill the wearer. Okay, so if your HP is low, you can die from using it. And it's going to be, you can see the levels 2 through 6 increased right there. We have some legendary relics, one being Gilded Pinion. Wearer receives 1% less damage for each turn of cooldown on their skills. And that could be buffed per level as well. HP buff also. We have an accuracy buff from the Skull of Treason, another legendary relic. HP burn debuffs placed by the wearer deal 10% more damage to enemies. Oh man. That could be something good on a Geomancer, on a Tyrant, on oh, I forget the name of the other guy that I like to use that on. What's his name? I'm going to find him right now inside of the game. Whatever, I forget. Oh, on a Mordecai. Yes, on a Mordecai. It could be a good wear for those guys. All right, we've got some mythical relics now, don't we? Yes, we do. Covetous Passion. Wearer receives a 15% shatter buff for 2 turns at the start of a round. Has a 30% chance to place a 15% shatter buff on the wearer for 1 turn upon killing an enemy. And the effect chance goes up by 10, 10, 10, then 20, and then an additional 20. Building on attack with that one. Then Crown of Corruption, another mythical relic. HP, crit damage, plus some defense. Wearer deals 5% more damage and receives 5% speed when above 50% HP. Below 50% HP, Wearer deals 25 less damage and loses speed. So this is a very big positive, but also a very big negative. And those get increased over time as well. And that brings us to the final part of the update, which is avatar frames and the badge. 2 new avatar frames will be added to the game. I like that one on the right. It looks like dragon hell ridden. I love it. Golden avatar frame will be placed as the reward in the coalition event, and black avatar frame will be sent to players who collect 4 legendary themed champions by August 5th. 4 legendary. Oh wait, 4 legendary of the themed champions. These ones probably, I'm assuming. I'm assuming it's got to be those ones. That could be tough. Additionally, players will have a chance to earn a new achievement badge if you manage to get all 5 themed champions. Yes, so you do have to get 4 of those themed ones. You'll receive a special in-game badge. The badge will be obtained after the Chaos Awakes campaign is over. I can tell you, I probably will not be getting the badge, nor will I be getting those frames. Having to get 4 of those is actually quite intense. This update seems, these events, I should say, seem pretty intense. Like there's going to be a lot happening. And I'm excited for all of it. And as my excitement continues to build and grow, I continue to dive into Live Arena. Yesterday we went live on a stream doing Live Arena. And we did a mediocre at best, but we did learn a lot. I'm going to be putting a video out on what we learned from Live Arena in a video for you guys very soon. I love Live Arena. It's my favorite part of the game, and I've decided that I'm actually going to start building out more champions to be more relevant in Live Arena, as that's an area that I want to put a lot of my focus. Obviously, Clan Boss, Hydra, yes, but Live Arena is somewhere where I want to live, okay? I'm going to come here, and I'm going to actually throw in these 2 right here. No, I'm going to go with Mithrala instead. Fabian, wearing that banner, and I also have Arbiter wearing the same banner, which will decrease speed aura of the other team and increase it of my own. Let's see if they have any of those banners themselves. So far, and most likely, I'm just going to be banning their Armands. And why am I going into a Live Arena battle now after that news post? Because that's where the passion lies in the game. I love Live Arena. I'm not sure what our Dragon board is doing waiting so long here, though. On a typical day, we kick back, drink some coffee, and enjoy. I'm actually very concerned about this team. They're start up very nicely. Let's see if they throw an Arbiter in there. They have a bunch of speed. Man, if they place a banner, I'll have to take it out. They're going to get rid of my Arbiter. Man, I'm not sure if they're going to get rid of my Arbiter, my Armands, or my Fabian. I got to get rid of their Armands. They do not have the banner I was worried about, so that's a good sign. Let's see who they banned for me. They did ban Fabian, which brings me with my Arbiter. She's around 350 speed, maybe a little bit more than that, actually. Let's see if we could pull in a win here. If we can get a start, if we can go first off the start, we have a very good chance. We buffed our speed aura. We nerfed their speed aura. We got our speed lead champion in there. And if the game doesn't get stuck on this screen and actually loads, what the heck happened right here? The generosity of Raid has sucked the server. What the heck happened here? We are stuck on this screen. I don't even know what to do. We're going to close Raid. We have to exit the game. And I'm going to get back into it. Let's see if we can get back in there and dive back into this match. I definitely don't want to lose it. Is it going to have me on that waiting screen or what? Come on. Oh, well, that was potentially the easiest win I've ever received. We got the win on that. What the heck? What happened in the battle log? Opponent left the battle. Wow. That must have been a disconnect or something because he does not seem like the type and had a decent team together. We'll take the auto battles. We'll take the chicken. And we'll take the luck on the day. Guys, I'm really excited for the update. I hope that you guys are as well. If you haven't played Raid Shadow Legends, download the game with the QR code right here or use my link in the description. We'll see you in another Raid Shadow Legends very soon. Have a great day, guys.